Alright, I just wanted to kind of go over very quickly some more updates on my Excursion truck based on the questions I received from IMs and personal messages. I appreciate that. I wish you'd post it on the blog so that other people would get the information, may be able to assist as well. But regardless, here we go. Anyway, normally I run in my car the stock single motor Titan 775 in my Summit. I use an 11 tooth pinion with a 68 tooth spur, and I find that works more than sufficient for me in most cases because I'm not looking for speed, I'm looking for torque. However, what I'm showing you here is my normal, when I'm not running the single and I really want to have that deep down torque, I run a dual 775 setup with the plate that I had made myself, so that way both motors are properly facing backwards versus one being forward, one being backwards. I just don't like that setup. I prefer them both facing the same direction. I think for the purpose of speed, that's a little more equal. For some reason, the other way, I hear stories of people saying that it feels like sometimes they're fighting each other, and I don't do that. So anyway, I just want to let you know that those have both been pulled because they have both burned up. I don't know if you can see the inside, which is why I have the spotlight here. They are black as black can be because they burned up really bad to the point that flames are shooting out of them. So needless to say, right now I have my backup crappy drill motor. It works, it'll move the car, but it's not, I don't like it. I think the 775 does a lot better. I know a lot of you have good luck with those drill motors, but I seem to not like the way they perform. They seem to give out for what I do. Now, for those of you who are looking for speed, it's probably better, but I prefer deep down torque. So anyway, that's my experience. You don't have to go by it. And, do what you do, and I'll do what I do. Okay, other things. Questions. How can I go so deep in water and still run? Normally not a problem, but lately it has been because I've taped my wire down here because I didn't want it to be in the way, and there were other factors at play with other wires, and I said, you know what, let me tape it down. Bad move. I don't recommend it. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, lift it up from being taped to the box, and come up. Reason why is once this gets covered by water, you start glitching. Excuse me. Once this gets covered by water, it starts glitching, and then you lose control of the car. However, if the antenna is up, as long as there's a portion of the antenna above the water, you can continue to control the car. So I'm going to go back to doing that. This was just something I tried. It didn't work, so I don't recommend it. The other thing I want to talk about, people were asking about, is how am I doing with hang-ups, meaning if I'm crawling or anything like that. Most of the time, it's not an issue because I don't go over big, heavy rocks and stuff like that. On occasion, I do, but it's so rare, it's not a big deal. However, I did find when I was on the trail, because of this large gap here, in between the body where I cut it, twigs were coming in and stopping the vehicle. Some roots and different things were just hanging up. So I came up with a way to hide that using Acoustablock. Okay, let me go back to my motors here and put this over. Acoustablock is just something I got at a trade show one day, and it's just a little rubber mat. I think this wonderful stuff, and I happened to pick up a whole bunch of it at the trade show because the guy was leaving. He said, look, if I wanted, I could take it. So I took it. So I have a whole bunch of this stuff, and it's basically rubber, and it's very sturdy. It's a little on the heavy side, but it's very sturdy. So what I have done is, let me flip this over for you. Hold on a second. Okay, I want to take it off the mount so I could show you. As you can see here, I ran Acoustablock at the bottom. So now the bottom of my vehicle is very smooth. And I haven't had any hang-ups because even here, it has to hit pretty hard because the rubber's stiff enough where it doesn't give easy, but at the same time, it's pliable enough that if something hits it, it will bend and flex just a little to help you out. So as you can see here, I put it in pretty tight. And that's how I keep the bottom of my truck so smooth, so that way I can glide over things, go into water. It helps actually with the water because the muck and stuff doesn't go in unless you get to the point where it's coming up and around, and then in that case there's nothing that's going to help it. But twigs and anything like that kind of slide right off it. So as you can see, it took a few good hits when I was making the video, and it looks in good shape. So I just wanted to let you know that's how I did the bottom to prevent twigs from getting stuck in the extension. At this point, that's really the questions I have gotten, so I wanted to share it with you where I was at with it. This is the current setup. As you can see here, here's the extender that I showed you in one of my videos. It's currently covered in this aluminum tape as well as black electrical because I didn't like the way the aluminum looked in there. I figured it'd hide it better with the electrical, so that's all that is. Here's the extension, and it is not a paper clip. It is a rod. It is a steel rod. I used a paper clip to make my design, so I knew how to bend it, and then I just kind of used steel rod to make the final product. Other than that, everything else is fairly stock. Having a good experience with it, and it seems to be working very well. In order to compensate for the weight, as you can see, I've really cranked down these shocks pretty far, so that way it helps hold the body up, because that wood body is pretty heavy. When it's on there, it moves very easy, but pushing down, it feels like it's got a lot of resistance. So anyway, that's where I'm at with things. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've talked about a bunch of things, and hopefully I'll answer everyone's questions, and keep them coming. I'll gladly share with you any information I have. Take it easy.